Keeping this one short and sweet. My lights and my computer turn off automatically in 10 minutes. And um, this really is more of an exercise for me to learn to let go and just have fun with this. So I don't want to think too much. It's going to be short. What do I want to talk about? Maybe love again. Love's a big topic for me. Love and society and history are kind of core topics for me. Topics, obsessions for me. Um, what do I want to talk about? I guess so. Something that I really enjoy about the process of producing art and why I think art is so valuable is that it's not just something that's enjoyable or even meaningful for the viewer. I think the process of the act of producing art is in itself a ritual um, that invites a way of engaging with life and our own experience, which I think is much closer to what our nature is. One where you play and you're engaging your intuition, you're listening to the muses. And I know there's people who make art from a different place. I just personally think some of the most interesting art comes from that place when it isn't intentional, when there's some kind of insight and you just follow that. And especially if the process of making it also feels natural and good, you know. Um, and I think what that does is it's almost like a kind of alchemy. It infuses that way of being within the piece that's created, whether it's a piece of art or a piece of music, and then the viewer gets to feel within their own experience something similar. And people talk about how there's all different types of interpretations of art, and I think to some extent that's true, but I think more or less people have uh, a similar, if not, I don't know if I want to say identical, that seems a little bit too radical, but they have a very similar emotional experience of it. It's just the way that I describe it, an emotional experience, or what my relationship to that emotional experience is, will be very different to someone else. So, say for example, um, say nostalgia. There's a song that's very nostalgic. Nostalgia, we might both be feeling nostalgia from that piece of music when we hear it, but nostalgia for me might mean grief, might remind me of something I lost, might remind me of how difficult my life is now. Whereas nostalgia for someone else could be very uplifting, could remind them of like love they've experienced. Um, or I guess, do I believe that? No, okay, scrap that. I think they will both feel the same kind of nostalgia, but the way they'll describe it is different. So that this is better actually. I think this is more accurate. So someone's nostalgia is growing up in the countryside and I don't know, grainy VHS tapes and like a paved road, where like someone else's nostalgia will be like that apartment complex they grew up in. And I don't know, like rainy days or whatnot, right? Because they grew up in different environments, but their souls still felt the same thing. They just connected it to different external experiences. That's already 4 minutes. I enjoyed that. Um, I enjoyed talking about it. That's perfect. I'm noticing progress. Uh, I felt a little bit less smothered in my speech today. So that's really, really good. I will show up tomorrow and do it again. Hope that made sense. Once again, this is just me gathering my sandbox of all these different ideas and getting over this perfectionism and the fear of the camera. And then I'm noticing this does look kind of blurry. Anyway, and then I'll get to focusing on what feels most important, whether that's the video essays or producing music, and I might show some of that. I just really want to follow my own whimsicality about this, because that's what I think I'll enjoy the most, and what will be the best content as well. So that's it for today. Peace.